The Cold War was one of the most tense and fascinating chapters in modern history, lasting nearly 50 years from the end of World War II to the early 1990s. While it never turned into an outright war, it shaped politics, technology, and culture in ways that are still felt today. In this video, we'll uncover 10 surprising facts about the Cold War that will give you a whole new perspective on this extraordinary period in history. Let's dive in. Despite spanning nearly 5 decades, the Cold War never escalated into direct conflict between the United States and the Soviet Union. Instead, both sides engaged in a cold conflict, using economic pressure, political propaganda, and proxy wars to influence global power dynamics. In 1961, the Soviet-controlled East German government built the Berlin Wall to stop its citizens from fleeing to the capitalist West. For nearly 30 years, it stood as a stark symbol of division between the communist East and democratic West. Its fall in 1989 marked the beginning of the end of the Cold War and inspired a wave of optimism worldwide. The Cold War extended beyond Earth in the form of the space race. In 1957, the Soviet Union launched Sputnik, the first artificial satellite. This spurred the United States to prioritize space exploration, culminating in the Apollo 11 moon landing in 1969. Beyond competition, this era pushed advancements in science and technology that continue to benefit humanity today. The Cold War saw the US and the Soviet Union amass enormous stockpiles of nuclear weapons. This led to the chilling concept of mutually assured destruction, or MAD. The idea was simple. Any nuclear attack would result in total annihilation for both sides, preventing either from starting a conflict. The Cuban Missile Crisis in 1962 was one of the closest moments the world came to nuclear war. Soviet missiles were discovered in Cuba, just 90 miles from US shores. After a tense 13-day standoff involving secret negotiations, both sides agreed to a deal, avoiding catastrophe. The Cold War often played out through proxy wars in countries like Korea, Vietnam, and Afghanistan. The superpowers provided financial and military support to opposing sides, turning these regions into battlegrounds for their ideological struggle. The massive spending required to maintain the arms race placed significant strain on both economies. While the U.S. economy adapted, the Soviet Union struggled to keep up, leading to shortages and economic instability that contributed to its collapse. Espionage was a cornerstone of the Cold War. Agencies like the CIA and KGB conducted covert missions, exchanged double agents, and gathered intelligence in a global game of cat and mouse. Many of these stories are still classified today. Cold War anxieties seeped into pop culture. Films, books, and even music reflected the public's fear of nuclear war and the clash between freedom and authoritarianism. Iconic works like 1984 and Dr. Strangelove remain relevant today. The Cold War even gave us the internet. The U.S. developed ARPANET, a communication system designed to survive nuclear attacks. It laid the groundwork for the digital world we live in today. The Cold War shaped the world in profound ways. From technological innovation to cultural shifts, its legacy is undeniable. Which fact surprised you the most? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more fascinating history.